Positive energy and good vibrations from me to you. You have now tuned in to Imperfect Fathers Podcast.
Yo, positive energy and good vibrations from me to you. It's your boy, RJD, the Imperfect Gentleman, and yeah, this is another dope episode of the Imperfect Fathers Podcast. Yo, Jerv, what's good, my guy?
Oh man, ain't nothing, man. Being an imperfect father, handling business, trying to keep my mind on straight, keep the distractions away, doing what I can control, man. That's all.
And that's what we out here doing. Yo, shout out to all the other imperfect fathers right now out there that are handling business. We got imperfect fathers out there making money, doing they doing. Shout out to my man KB, working hard, my man Troy, Swiss, and also a special shout out to my man Dave right now. Right now, currently, my man Dave is worshiping the porcelain throne right now. He's bowing down to the almighty toilet bowl as we speak, spitting up his intestines because he decides he's going to drink like a fish when he really is a mammal.
Yeah, happy 40th. Happy 40th, though, We getting up there, man. You ain't 23.
Yeah, yo, shout out to my man Dave, man. Happy birthday to you, man. Word up. Listen to my audience right now. Let me tell y'all something before we do our usual. Yo, Jerv think he's slick. He keep talking about happy birthday, Dave. But it's his birthday too, y'all. It's Jerv's birthday too out here in these streets. So, yo, Jerv, happy birthday to you too.
I appreciate it, man.
I'm trying to duck the smoke, bro. I'm trying to he didn't want to put it in the chat, y'all. He didn't want to put it in the chat it's my birthday too, though. Yo, listen, happy birthday, bro. For real.
Man, I appreciate it, man. Another year, I'm blessed. Thank God, man. Thank God. Yup, thank God. He poured knowledge, wisdom, and understanding on me. Yup.
That's it, kid.
That's it.
Yo, listen, man, around here, we got to follow the protocol before we get started because, as you can see, we're a little antsy. We're ready to talk today. So we got to do what we got to do, follow our protocol. And with that being said, we got to talk to the most perfect father and then pay some bills. So with that being said, gracious and eternal Father, we thank you for another week. We thank you for another opportunity to come on this platform just to be who we are, imperfect fathers. Right now, God, we actually look over us as we go across this airways and also look over every imperfect father, wherever they may be, whether they may be here on this platform, God, or taking care of their business as fathers. Look over them and cover them in a special way. Watch them from all hurt, harm, and danger, seen and unseen. And right now, God, watch over us as we go across this airways, that we may be a blessing to someone where they need it most. Inspiration, encouragement, and motivation. Anything we do, pray in the matchless name of the Most High. Amen.
Amen.
Yo, check this out, man. This podcast is we bring it to y'all each week because there's somebody's helping us do that, and it's those guys over at It's Now or Never Entertainment for all your music needs, man. Whether it be hip hop, gospel, R&B, you name it. The producers over there at that bad company. Listen, they are great. They handle your business like professionals, and their quality work is outstanding. I actually tried it myself. If you go to my content on Instagram, you can hear some of their music in the background on some of my own personal content. So I use them, I approve them, and they were a sponsor of this podcast. So go over there and use the word imperfect. You'll get 50% off, half off any beat that's in the beat store. That's a big, big deal, y'all.
Yeah, that is.
Half off. So go over there, shop smart, shop black, shop It's Now or Never Entertainment, and let them know the Imperfect Father sent you, man.
Mm-hmm.
So with that being said, Jerv, we have done what we're supposed to do. Now we're gonna get down to it, man.
What about the prints? The t-shirts?
Oh, you know what? You're right. Jerv, you know what? That's so crazy because I'm over here slacking on my Mac. And next episode, she's gonna be like, "Oh, you ain't want to holler at me."
Yeah.
You just saved me a whole bunch of headaches. Listen, for all your print needs, whether you're on shirts, hats, cups, you name it, signs, whatever it may be. Cassie's Classic Design can do it for you, man. So if you want to get at her, you can get at her directly at Cassie's Classic Design at gmail.com. Brain fart.
Right.
So get at her directly at Cassie's Classic Design at gmail.com, or you can get at her on Instagram. It's Cassie's _classic_design. Let them know that the Imperfect Father sent you. Boom, yo, Jerv, good looking. You just saved me a headache. You heard me.
Yeah, I got you. I got you.
That's how you know you got good teammates, y'all. That's looking out for your best interest. He didn't want me to have to deal with the smoke later behind that.
Come on, man. Let's
Save
avoid that. Let's avoid that.
Brothers keepers, you heard?
Yeah, let's avoid that smoke. For real.
Yo, cause listen, last episode, your boy Dave was here for all the smoke. He was going at the ladies at the job.
Oh,
He was for the smoke last episode, bro. We was talking about that weaponizing femininity.
Yeah, I saw it.
Yo, he was for the smoke. So I know you work with the ball and all that. So I don't know if you had to deal with any extra activities this week based around the episode.
Nah. Everybody was real cool. It wasn't no smoke on nobody else's part, but they know when they come up to him, he gonna give you one of them honest answers that you might not want to hear, but
right.
You know, he got the smoke, but you gonna have to go head over there and get it.
Right.
He ain't just gonna come at you.
Yeah. You know, the one thing about Dave, and I was talking to my business partner earlier because she had watched episode 2, and she said she was like, you can just tell that Dave has a beautiful spirit about him, and that he's been hurt. And it's like I was like, wow, that's a great observation because it's like it's true. He's had his share of pain and all those things, but he has a beautiful spirit. Like he's a genuine individual that's literally going to give it to you how he feels it. But at the same time, he's not missing his words. Like
yeah, right.
If he got something on his chest, he gonna give it to you how it's
in
on
Spanish or in English. Let you have it bilingual style.
Right. However you need it, papi.
Real rap.
Yo, but shout out to that boy right now. He probably listened to this right now. If he could hear this right now, because we're recording this, he'd probably be like, "Yo, thumbs up right now," because his head is definitely in the toilet bowl.
Yo, yeah.
At this current moment.
Thumbs up. I hear you, but
you good.
Yeah. Sorry.
But listen, man, this episode we're gonna talk about. I wish everybody was here too. We might have to do a part 2 when everybody comes back too. But yo, how has fatherhood changed you? Like, how has that made you different as a man, bro? Like,
man, that's something else, man. I know. I haven't. My first child, I was 30, 31, and I had no clue how it would change me, man. I had no clue, and it really hit you late. It's like they born you like, okay, cool, boom. But when they start talking and walking and conversating with you, that's when you like, wow, like this is like truly like a blessing. Like it's so crazy that they evolve so fast like that.
Yeah, how many kids you got, Jer?
I got one.
You got a boy. That's right.
I got a boy, a 2-year-old.
Right. He's 2. Wow, that's I remember when you actually had him. That's 2 years already.
Yeah.
That's another thing too. The kids tell the time on you, Jerry. Like my daughter just turned 6, kid. It was like,
sheesh. I remember she was crawling. That's crazy.
Now she calls me on the phone. Now she tells me what to do. Like she questions me. Like looking at her like, wait, what?
Yeah. And
I'm a little baby.
How? I don't mean to get right into it, but how is it having a daughter with the discipline part, knowing that you have a boy too? Like how are you able to discipline you, or does she have you wrapped around her finger?
Not even a little bit.
How is that?
Not even a little bit. That whole wrap around your finger part, like it's. Let me not say not a little bit because she does, but what she has me wrapped around her finger doesn't negate the fact of real life for me. And I credit that to my moms. So my mother is a no-nonsense type of woman. You know what I'm saying? Like, and she's always been that way. And for me, I've never, ever seen it different when it comes to raising children. I watched my mother get on my back for many of things. But I also watched my mother get on my sister's behind for many of things.
Yeah. So
there wasn't like, oh, because you're a girl, these rules apply to you and they don't apply to anyone else.
Wow.
That's not how I was raised. So that's not how I'm raising my daughter. She gets it. She gets it. Trust that. She gets it just
from you.
Does. What? Yeah. Because at the end of the day, like I'm not gonna play just the bad cop. I'm good cop and bad cop. You understand? Like, I'm here for the good. And I'm also going to be here for the bad, because also too, I've learned in fathering is like, you got to know what kind of child you got. Because if you have a type of child that folds under pressure and you yelling at them, they're never going to give you what you need. They're never going to talk to you. They're never going to open up to you. You're going to cause them to be in a shell.
Dang, that's crazy.
So I've learned, like, yo, I don't have to, like, for my daughter, right now, if I call her name and don't finish her name, if I go eat, Iman, instantaneously, whatever it is she's doing, it's gonna stop.
It's on.
Because she doesn't like to see me upset. Like, but see, on the same note, that same aggression, like or assertive that I show by calling her half of her name, when I do that to my son, he like, what? Like, what you gonna do?
That's crazy. That's crazy. And the kids, they know.
Yeah, they know, man.
They might be young, but they know. And that's really what changed me too. Because I used to give them the benefit of the doubt a lot. But I realized, like, whoa. Yeah, I'm like, yo, hold on. I'm getting suckered here by a 2-year-old. Like, yo,
and they know, like, just about that earlier, if not earlier, what time it is. Like, they know, bro.
Yeah, and it's so crazy that from somebody that never had a kid to make these adjustments as they get older and get more wise, it's just like a real father would want to be around that and want to go through that process like that, because it's really beautiful. And that's how you can get taken care of when you get older too.
Bro, but let me tell you some real thing that I thought about, bro, because once you get older and you have kids, your brain starts doing different things. This may sound funny, but it's so true. Like, yo, we come into this world wearing Pampers. And if it by design, we supposed to go out of this world wearing Pampers. Right? Wow. Somebody when you came into this world, somebody was like literally wiping your butt. Yeah. And if you do life right, somebody's gonna be wiping your butt when it's time for you to close your eyes that final time.
Wow. That's deep right there.
And think about this, Jared. Think about it. Who gonna wipe your butt when you old? The person you wiped their butt when they was a baby.
Yeah, gotta look out again. You gotta look out, and don't send me to no home.
Yo, Jared, I seen a video. I seen a picture of this that really changed my outlook on like how to raise my kids. Like that whole screaming all the time and like this constantly being a hard ass on them was like. I seen this meme where the dad was flipping on the kid. He was just constantly flipping on him. And then like the very next picture was the kid flipping on the dad. Like, and the dad was old and decrepit and he was just flipping on him. Like, wow. Why can't you get it right? And like just going in, doing the same thing that they did to him.
Dang.
I was like, oh wow.
Yeah. It just is a full circle.
It made me check myself as a father, kid, because my mother did a whole lot of yelling. That's all she did.
Wow. And that's the thing about just having one child. It's like you only get one shot. You got one bullet in that chamber. And if he don't work or she don't work, then you might be out here in the home when you get older, or maybe worse. Because when you get older, man, it's really like you need a lot of support, yo. You need
that's why like we got to be careful how we treat people, bro. Like we got to be careful how we treat our kids and everyone in general, because you never know.
Yeah,
you never know the person you violate just because you felt like it might be the person that got to wipe your behind, like when you can't.
Yeah, some people can't see that forward down the line. It's too much in the moment type of time going on where people don't realize, like, wow, I'm really messing up the person that's going to end up having to take care of me. Like, nobody thinks about that a lot of the time. Like, and then they get mad or they start developing what they call it, son husbands and.
Oh yeah, that weird shit.
Yeah, weird stuff.
What that weird stuff start coming to play. Like, hold on, fam. Like, what, wait a minute. son husbands. What is that?
What is that?
Where did we get this from?
That's crazy. And that's because of the attachment that the parent had created during, because those type of people, they know where it's headed. They know that, yo, I'm old. I can't. It's gonna be tough for me to find a woman. It's gonna be tough for me to find a man. I need to go ahead and create this husband real quick before he get too out of here, basically. Cause
right, like I gotta get this dude. I gotta brainwash him before he like leaves me. That's witchcraft, bro. You think about that.
It
That's
really is.
manipulation. Like that's manipulation and witchcraft at its finest. Like that's terrible.
Yeah, it is. And a lot of these moms doing it, and they don't even know what they doing. Then when when they son get girlfriends or son get wives, they get real itchy about the wife or real itchy about the husband coming in taking over their time.
Yo, let me tell you something, bro.
That's
like
crazy.
there's nothing worse than being in that position to have to stand between your wife and your mother. Like as a man, like I wouldn't want to wish that on nobody, man. Like
Yeah, me neither.
to have to go through that, like the person that gave you life and the person you want to spend the rest of your life with.
Yeah, that's crazy. And I saw a video before about it was the man, his mom, and his girl, and they was about to get in the car, and they was kind of having a debate on who should sit in the front seat and who should sit in the back seat.
Wow.
And I was like, wow, like this thing is really getting deep. Like these women and these men are, it's from my experience, I've seen women do it a lot more than the actual father creating a daughter, wife, or something like that. Like I've seen women create the husband for themselves. Like, and I was like,
no, that's definitely we that's definitely more prominent. We definitely see that a lot more than the latter. We don't really see like because honestly, men don't like. Well, let me not say that because my my partner was raised by her father. There are not a lot of men that raised their daughters, put it like that.
yeah.
But in the ones that do, like any man that try to raise their daughter, basically pretty much tries to raise their daughter so she can be married, so she can be someone's other half growing up. Like most men that do raise their daughters have raised their daughters in that manner.
Yeah, right. And I mean, it's time you gotta let go, man. And it's up to the son or the daughter to kind of put your foot down, like, yo, mom, pop,
Right. When?
I
Like
need
when
to
you
get out of
gonna
here.
grow up?
Yeah, and that's a problem too. A lot of them don't really want to get out there and settle down and put their foot down to their mom, like, yo, I still love you, but I need to go ahead along with my life, man. This is crazy. Like, I can't sit here and be taking care of both of y'all. Like, you made your decisions. You raised me right. I'm not going to just leave you out here. But I need to go cleave to my wife. Like, I need to go. So you made your bed. Now you got to lay in it. Like, I'm still here, and unfortunately, that goes on a lot.
That has to be one of the hardest things to have to do. And I'm grateful to my moms for never putting me in that position, for real. To be honest, like my mother's thing was like, boy, when you're ready to walk out that door, just be prepared to walk out that door. Like I'm not asking for you to do nothing else. Just be prepared to walk out that door. Whenever you got to, go out there. And like when I left it, I didn't feel like, oh, I'm leaving my mother behind. She needs me. Like I always felt like she could manage for herself because that's how she raised me. You know what I'm saying? Like she didn't make me dependent on her existence. Like she made sure, like, yo, listen, you got to figure this thing out. Go out there and figure it out. I'll be here to catch you if you fall, but like you got to go out there and at least try.
Yeah, and that's how my mom really was too. Like my mom always used to ask me, "Yo, when you getting out?
Yeah.
When you getting out of my crib? Like when you getting out of my house? Get out the basement. Like you know what I mean? Like
go do something."
Yeah, and I just thank her so much for doing that and pushing me, like because I really was immature, and for some reason it takes men a long time to really mature and start thinking about, yo, I need to start something. In like mid-20s, early 30s is when we start to get rocking.
I guess
Sometimes
I'm
later
even
than
later.
that.
It ain't hit me till like I'm 35. It slapped me in my head like, boy, you better build something. I'm like, huh?
You better,
yo, okay. Right. Out of nowhere, it hit me like, boy, you better start building something.
Mm-hmm.
I heard you. I heard you. I'm gonna get to it.
Yeah, for real. Because it's and they want grandbabies. They don't want to just be sitting around just sitting around. They want you to go out here and give me some grandbaby,
bro.
and
My
that's
mother was
really
dead
how it should
serious.
be. But
She was dead serious. She was like, "Yo, you gonna do it right though. You gonna go out there and you gonna get married. You gonna bring some children home."
yeah,
And she was gung ho on that since I was a child. And that's what like one of the things that also how my kids changed me was that like everything my mother told me and showed me began to show up in my life when I became a father.
mm,
All the things that she used to say was
wow,
like, "You'll understand when you're a parent. You'll understand when you're a father." Like she used to say about a lot of stuff, and I used to be like, "Yeah, girl, you just that's your cop out." I used to tell her all the time, like, "Yo, ma, whenever you don't know how to explain yourself or something, that's your cop out. You tell
wow,
me that you'll understand when I'm a father." But the crazy part is, my daughter's already 6, and I've already like revisited so many of the conversations that we had as her talking to me as a child. Like, you'll understand when you get older. It's
mm-hmm,
like, wow, she wasn't kidding. She wasn't
yeah,
kidding, not even a little bit. Like I see so many lessons that I can't wait to instill into my kids that she taught me, man.
yeah, and that's something that that's something that changed me too. But I wanted to say something that can stop all of that is if they have a husband or
Mm,
if the man has a wife. That can negate all of that trouble. But I know I mean, this is the way it's supposed to be. But
right.
unfortunately, it's a lot of single older black women and it's a lot of single older black men that really don't. And really, it seems like it's easier for a man to just go ahead and get somebody to, you know what I mean, be with, as opposed to like a woman getting out here and trying to find a man like at an older age.
And honestly, no, it's not hard, Jer. It's really not. What
Hmm.
makes it hard is when we get mad, complicated, and bougie. Yo, me and you was just fish before in the green room, y'all. So we'll put y'all on. Before the episode started recording, me and Jerg was watching Alone, the show on History Channel about surviving in the woods and all that.
Hmm.
Yo, we don't like if it comes down to it, Jerv, like how we gonna survive? We so worried about nonsense. 98% of the population don't even know how to survive in the wilderness.
Man,
You
that's
understand what I'm saying? So it's like we so worried about nonsense and these false, these fake ideas of what we think somebody should be in a partner. It's like, yo,
right.
do you understand if there wasn't no social media and all the other stuff that we depend on calling life right now, all the technology, if some major grid blows up, right, or something happens, what's gonna happen? Was anybody in South Florida is gonna care about what they're doing in Atlanta with the whole the single wives club, any of that nonsense that we watch and they
Get
indulge in?
distracted by.
Right. None of that shit's gonna matter. But this is what I'm saying. Like it's so easy to meet people, but we so caught up in the glitz and the glamour of what we think somebody should be, to where it's like when you meet a genuine person, if they're not covered in Chanel and Gucci and Fendi, oh, they're lame, they're a bozo, or get away from me, you're below me. Meanwhile, you make $30,000 a year.
Right, right, and that's crazy. And I always said that. I think it was a episode a minute ago. I was in the car and I was like, "What we gonna do? Like when, like for our families, when stuff like happens, like a grid blowout or something catastrophic or major,
Right.
what are we gonna
Like a
do? Like
pandemic that we just finished going through.
nobody, right? Nobody practices fasting. Everybody eat when they want to eat. Nobody practices doing pitching a tent
Any kind of
just
discipline
in
at
case.
all.
And it sounds kind of like loony to some people, but dog, these are skills that I really think every man should have. Like just so we're not fully dependent on these people and what they got going on. Like, cause stuff can happen, man. You can't even start a fire. Like,
Yeah, they starting to happen right now. Like it's crazy, yo. So check this out. I know we're going a little off topic, but this is some real father talk because just we gotta worry about our families. Yo, so I went to Walmart the other day, right?
mm-hmm,
And I haven't went to Walmart in a few months because it's not close to my crib, and Publix is right here.
Oh, all right.
So I'm like, yo, I'm gonna save some dollars and go to Walmart right now because I got some time. Everybody knows if you got time to spare, you'll save the money and go to Walmart. And if you don't have no time and you got a little extra money, you go to Publix and just get it out of there.
Publix is that, yeah.
So I realized I had some time and my kids with me. I'm gonna go to Walmart. So we go to. I got the shopping list of everything we need. When I get into shopping to Walmart in the food section, the freezer department and the entire meat department is closed off. So I'm like, what's going on? Like I had to ask. I'm like, yo, what's going on? Between the meat shortage and all the farm goods shortages from the farms, and the fact that one of their generators blew up in their freezer overnight, they had to throw away all the food.
Wow.
You couldn't sell it. So now it's going to take 2 months for them to get another shipment of meat there based upon the time schedule of deliveries.
And that's light. And that and it seems major, but that's just one particular city and one particular town. Like I think people, if something big happening, I think people just gonna start checking out just because they don't know what to do. They're gonna be stressed out.
They're gonna be so stressed out, Jerv, that they're gonna make themselves sick, bro. Like so much stress has become physical, and they're gonna worry themselves literally to death.
Yeah,
because they don't have the proper skills and necessary tools to make it through.
Yep, and that's what I learned being a father, that it ain't just about me no more.
Right.
Like, I really
and not right now either. It's not about right this moment no more.
Right.
It's about moments later.
Yeah, for real. And I just had to realize that, yo, I gotta cook for a whole nother head now. Like I gotta cook for a few other heads now. Like it ain't just me. Like, cause I spent 30 years just cooking for myself, like maintaining me. So now it's a whole nother head. So it's real. It really changed me, man. Because
let me ask you a question. So what has your son shown you about yourself that you don't like?
That I don't like?
Yeah, like what is one of it? Because they expose you. Your kids expose you. So
they do.
What did your son show you about you that you didn't like?
The first thing that came to my mind was like anger towards him. Sometimes he could really get on my nerves to the point that I get angry with him, and it'll take me a little bit to like, yo, this is my baby right here. Like, you know what I mean? He'll get me angry, and then the next minute I'll just be wanting to love him up. Like, you know what I mean? Like he gets on my nerves. Lord knows. This boy, I wish we had a snippet of how many times he said daddy today. Like this man at least 200-300 times. Daddy.
In the morning. Early in the morning, that's 200-300. Yeah.
This man wake up and start talking like it's 2 p.m. I'm like, yo, I just got up. He ain't got no hoarse voice, no morning voice.
He got that projection. Hello,
hi. Look, he knocking on the door right now. Look.
Yeah. They go add that's 301.
Right on point, like
right on cue. Hell yeah,
right
he
on cue. Like so, he really, and it makes me. He's showing me patience. Like, you know what I mean? I really have a lot of patience for him. Right. When he starts talking like that, calling me like that, I'm yes, son. Yes, son. Yes, son. It's never, yo, stop calling me. Right. Like I have patience for him. Like no matter how many times he calls me, I'm always just yes, son. It could be something so small, like, oh look, the cover is black. Right. I'm like, in my head, I'm like, what did you call me for that for? Like, why would you? Okay, son, it's black.
You're right, baby. That's it.
Yeah, word. So he showed me that when I usually would he exposed my anger in me. He really did. And when he exposed that, that's when I knew I had to start working on it towards him. Like, well, all full circle, just period, my anger. And I'm really not an angry person, but when he could get on he can get on my nerves. Like, and it's I demonstrate patience.
You ain't the only one, bro. I'm glad that you was transparent to say that. You ain't the only one, because that's one of the things that like my kids exposed me to, my lack of patience. Like I've always thought I was a patient individual. Like because my level of patience to me is like if I don't slap you off the rip, that's patience. You know what I mean? Because like that's how I was raised. Like if you don't pop me right away, you're being patient with me. You know what I'm saying? So in my mind, like, that's how I was. I had to check. But the most important thing that I think that my daughter showed me, because she was born first, and like she showed me this early, was that I swore about how I was raised, and it was the righteous way. And like looking at my behaviors and how I carry myself in thought process, realized there was some flaws in the way that my mother raised me. Not to discredit my mom by no means, because you teach from where you know, and she's always been one to say like, yo, I'm only teaching you what I know. You know what I'm saying? So in all the times that she was yelling and screaming, it was like because she was yelling and screamed that her whole entire life. So to her, this is how you raise a child. You raise a child by striking the fear of God in them, screaming at them all day, making sure that you have them under a lock and key. You know what I'm saying? Like this is how she was raised. So it made sense for you to do it to your child, because as we said before, love is boundaries. So the boundaries that she was given, she felt like it was like only right for her to pursue and give those.
But do you think it come to a point in her life where she like, yo, I'm doing this thing wrong, or does that have
Absolutely,
to be?
I remember it. I remember, like, let me tell you, Joe, that's a great question, because I remember the day. So my mother was really, really heavy in the church growing up. You know what I'm saying? Like, she's what you would call a Bible thumper. Like, you know what I mean? Like she preaches and prophesies and goes in. You know what I'm saying? She was all the way in. And I never forget one day, like, she had this revelation, and it was just like she cried for like days on. I was like, yo, Mom, you all right? She was like, yeah. And she just kept saying sorry. She just kept saying sorry.
Wow.
At the time, you know, I'm young. My mother's bugging. God got her doing something. Like, that was always my thought process. Like, yo, God, whatever you doing, like, I don't know. Like, I'm a child. Like, whatever. And then finally, like, she got herself together with, she was like, yo, like, I raised you how I raised you because I didn't know no better. Like, I'm sorry for, like, not listening to you. I'm sorry for not checking in before I scream on you. Like, listen to someone else before I hear your side.
Right.
And it was crazy because it was like, I was like, damn, like, that's when I started really believing in the power of God. Because I'm like, yo, my mother was like the jury, my nigga. Like, I used to get my ass kicked for stuff I was gonna do, nigga. Like,
I know what you're thinking.
I called it advancement ass whippings. You know what I mean? I used to get whippings in advance. You know what I mean? Like,
yo, that's funny.
Yo, literally, I used to be sitting on the floor sometimes and get popped in my head. She'd be like, yo, that's for whatever I didn't catch you doing.
Oh, dang, that's deep. Yeah, that's another thing that I've learned about children, especially raising boys, that sometimes you gotta put your hands on them, man.
Yeah.
Sometimes you gotta put your hands on them, and it ain't because you hate them. It's because you don't want to see them make that mistake. Like, or they not listening.
Right.
You know what I mean? When I'm telling you something, I'm not just talking just to be talking. Like, I'm telling you for a reason. Like, you know what I mean? Don't put your hand in the toilet water. Like, that's for a reason. I'm not trying to spoil your fun. Like, you know what I mean?
And like, like, that's one thing, and it's in the book. It's in the Bible. Spare the rod and spoil the child. Like,
right. And it also says, beat the child, it won't die. You know what I mean? You gotta go ahead and sometimes, not all the time, but be
and also too, like, we gotta stop being so sensitive. Like, nobody's sitting here for anybody who's gonna react to that and be like, oh my God, they're abusive. Nobody's sitting here abusing our child. Because the truth of the matter is, I can attest for this. I know Jerv can attest to this. We're not giving out a fraction of the shit that we used to get.
Oh no,
and
not
that
yet.
Wasn't even called abuse. What they did to us.
Not yet. We ain't getting it yet. He's still little, but hopefully I can tame him enough right now while he's little that I don't need to go there when he get bigger. But yeah, I'm ready to get with him though. If that is the case, like I will not be oppressed by my child. Like I'm not the one that you're gonna flip out in the grocery store with. Like that's a no. Because I'm gonna leave. I'm gonna go outside and I'm gonna let you have it. Like, don't do that to me. Like don't. He
Listen,
knows better.
Derek, like you better than me, kid. Because I'm from the old school. Old school. My mom was like, where you act up at is where you get it at. Like, so if you want to pop in the store, we can act wild in the store. Like,
but you know,
how you
folks
gonna do it?
Did you Billy? Did you see that? He just hit his son in it. Billy, call.
Oh my God! Get Megan, Billy. Get Megan over here right
now.
now.
On the phone right now.
Okay, we gotta call the social services.
I can't tolerate it. Nope. Yeah, and that's really the reason why.
I'm getting you.
Yeah, we don't do it on the spot because we got folks that are. First of all, you'll get embarrassed. That's first of all. I don't care how blatant you is and beating your child in public. It's embarrassing. Like
no, it is.
You know
like it, and like my thing is like you said some key earlier too, Jerv. Like I truly have never had to put my hands on my kids in public. And now that I think about it, bro, I've never truly had to really like spank my children. Like I've popped their thighs and I popped their hands, but I haven't had to because you know what the difference is, Jerv? We're fathers that are present. See, all the extra violence had to come because there was no man present to do what's necessary for us to get forward in the right way and be in line. Our presence is enough for our kids. Like I know I'm just sitting just talking to you right now. I'm thinking to myself, well, damn, I don't. But my statue, how I carry myself, and how my kids know about me already.
Smart.
You're like, yo, listen, my daddy is little screws a little, so I'm not going to do it. You can see that in my son's face some days when I call him and I scream his name. He'd be like, I might have messed up. He got that look in his eyes. So you know what I mean? Like, so it's really about how you're raising them, bro. Because like honestly, like I'm not out to put my hands on you, but if I have to, I will. But at the same time, it's like you should know better. Like we're vocal enough. And I think that a lot of times we got ass whippings growing up is because they didn't know how to explain certain things verbally. Right. If you think back to like even communication, like conversation that we have right now amongst each other, they weren't having back in those days because they didn't have the right words to articulate those things. And it wasn't cool back in those days to question yourself as a parent. Right. It wasn't. I mean, because it was kind of like I'm right and I know what I'm doing. No matter what, because I'm a parent. No matter what. This is the famous line is, this is my child. Right. This is the teacher can be telling your kids, yo, don't do that in this classroom. And the mom or the dad will come in, this is my child. They gonna do and start defending like weird stuff. Like if the teacher right, he right. You know what I mean? Yo, he my right. Mother's thing was this. Right. My mother's thing was, and that's the same approach that I take. I'm going to get down to the bottom of it. So I'm going to come to you as your parent. Your best bet is to tell me the truth. I'm going to get down to the bottom of it anyway. I'm going to hear your side. I'm going to hear their side, and I'm going to find the truth in between. Mm-hmm. So it's your best bet as my child to you have the best upper hand to tell me the truth. Because that's really it. Like, give me a way in. Like, but if this teacher is right, my mother's famous line was this: if the teacher's right, you got to deal with me. But if you're right and they're wrong, they got to deal with me. Now, that's the one thing my mother proved right with me. And this shout out to my mom. I love you for this. Mm-hmm. On both sides of the coin, she was on point. Because whenever it was time for me to have to deal with the pay the piper prices, I paid them prices. Right? But guess what? Maybe take those prices as a badge of honor. Because she gave it out just as hard, if not harder, when it was time to go to bat for me, when somebody else was on me that wasn't on me right. Yep. Like, when teachers, especially in high school, was talking about, oh, he's doing X, Y, Z. And the crazy part was I wasn't even in school when they was talking about the situations happened. My mother went off. How y'all tell him he did X, Y, Z when he was with me on vacation? I watched my mother go to bat in a way I was like, oh, she really loved me. Like, right. I take them. If she giving it out like that, then I'll take what she give me. Yeah, like, because I didn't want what she was giving to them. Like I was like, yo, I'll take that ass with them. Give me that. I'll take that. I don't want that verbal assault and that fear you inflict. I don't want none of that. Let me get that.
Yeah.
Let me get that can of ass whipping, please.
Yeah, I think that, right? Yeah, and that really reinforces the love that a kid has for their parents. Like when you go to bat for them, and in the right way, don't just willy nilly. Oh, right or wrong, right or wrong. I'm defending my child, right or wrong. I hate when people say that. Right or wrong, we down for each other, right or wrong. Like, what does that mean? Nobody ever took the time to say, what does that mean? That means, like, if I'm doing something wrong and I'm hurting somebody's feelings or doing something wrong, that you gonna be behind me, like, yeah, right or wrong. That's just a poison doctrine that was just permeated through the Black community that I have no clue where that stuff like comes from. Like, and it really damages a lot of people in the way they raise their kids and the way they look at even their friends. Like,
hell yeah. Yo, I can't even be around nobody who raises their kid like that, Jerry, for real, because
they let them do
don't have
anything
patience for that.
Yeah.
What do you mean? Yo, so if I tell you your child came here and poured milk all over the couch, and because he's your child, you're gonna just be like, well, that couch needed milk on it? Like, wait a minute.
Yeah, right.
like wait a minute. Like, you get you and Bebe's kids up out of here, nigga.
Yeah,
like, you and your child are down. Like, wait a minute. That's why I really don't have the patience. And I always judge a tree by its roots, for real. You know what I'm saying? Like, whenever I see a child acting up that has no fear of what their parent might say or might think about what they're doing, I just get away from them.
Yeah.
I just get away because, like, I already know, like, yo, you don't have the fear of your parent, like, responding in this and that. I can't be with you. I can't be around because that means your parents are gonna come co-sign this nonsense, and I'm gonna want to knock one of your fathers out. So
right. And I remember in high school, the teacher would be like, "I'm gonna call your parents." They be like, "Call them." I don't care.
I ain't gonna lie. Like I used that was my bluff too, because I really didn't want you to call, but I had to be tough. You come on, Jerv. You know in high school,
listen.
Pull that call before your parents. You be like, so what? I don't care. Call them. I'm calling them.
You be like, ooh.
And then, like, you know, you have some teachers that forget at the end of the day or didn't call. You be like, nigga, suckers, I'm good. But you always had that one teacher that wait after school, nigga, just sit there.
You get home, they like, oh yeah, he should be home by now.
Mrs. Dockery. Oh yeah, Roderick did X, Y, Z. Yeah. And it was always the worst when you get the phone call. Let's say you in the kitchen and your mom in the kitchen cooking. She got the phone to her ear. She like this. She cooking and whatnot. She getting busy. She on, hello? Yes, this is Mrs. Dockery. And she look over and she like,
she give you that.
This is Mrs. Dockery.
She give you that look like, yeah, I'm on your heels. As soon as I get up,
cooking and whatnot. So now she listening. So yes, Miss Foster, tell me what happened today. Oh, really? This would get real dispatched. She got dispatched. She be like, oh, really?
Over with. It switch ears.
Now she got her glasses low. Trust me, you don't have to worry about that. I'm so glad you called me today, Miss Foster. Yes.
Call me anytime.
Call me anytime. Absolutely. You know what? I'll see you at the Parents' Conference next Tuesday.
Man,
I'll be there. Thank you for telling me, as a matter of fact, because he definitely forgot to tell me. Oof. Okay, Miss Foster, I'll take care of that. You have a wonderful night.
Game over.
She put that phone down.
No motion.
Yo, you hear Undertaker music.
Hey, yo.
Yo, your whole spirit start trembling because you know it's about to get greasy.
It's going to get ugly, bro.
And the first thing she asked you was like, so what happened to school today? Like you be like, oh.
You don't even know how to think at that point. You like, what did happen? What?
Yo, like you gonna start bubbling. All of a sudden, you gotta take a dump. You like,
yup. I remember I used to pretend that I was asleep. I used to be like,
That's the worst because my mother wake me up. Like I tried that. Like I heard somebody say that before when I was younger, and I tried it and it didn't work in my household because she beat me till I was awake. Like she didn't. It didn't matter that I was in there pretending to be asleep. She came in there and woke my behind up. But
Yo,
that
that's
felt going
crazy.
to work.
Yeah, but that's all discipline, man. You can't just be running out here with no discipline, no foundation, nothing that you know to stand on, and that you're
also
not going
to
to
be
do.
like it. We talking about women that was trying to raise boys. You, as a man, Jerry, let's think about this for a second. Me and you, men, solid men all the way around. Nothing funny about us, right?
Right.
And we still have to call upon the man upstairs to give us patience to deal with our sons.
Yeah.
Imagine what a woman has to go through trying to raise a son through each one of these stages, bro. Like, think about all stages we went through growing up. All about we're going to deal with our sons as men who know what to deal with when we're going through them. Right. Now, think about putting a woman in that spot, having to raise a man that's trying to keep us on the straight and narrow. Like, I look back and be like, yo, my mother wasn't abusive. She was doing everything she could possibly do to hold on and keep me on a straight line because you know, as boys, we're going to test everything about our mamas. We're going to test every limit.
And I got a question. So do you think it's selfish for a woman to keep a boy, like full custody of a boy or over the man? Do you think that's selfish? Like they split up.
If he's a willing dad, absolutely selfish. Absolutely, wholeheartedly no. Like put it like this. Without there being any of those crazy nuances about being abusive, alcoholic, just Xing all those out, absolutely. Yeah. It's a selfish thing because I don't care what you and that man's issue is. If you have a son, especially a son that's going into that age of adolescence and puberty and all that, if you don't let that man that boy go be with that man, you are taking away vital experiences that you cannot provide.
Wow.
You can't provide the experience of being in the presence of a man because you're not one.
Right.
You can't scratch your balls in the morning because you don't have a set. Right? Like that's on a low, minor, funny part of the scale. But on a serious note, you can't teach him how to manicure his nuts, how to cut the hairs around his balls because you don't have a set.
Right. Yeah,
if you're intentionally holding that back from him because of a situation you have with that man,
right?
You know, off the rip, you're being selfish, and it's wrong, completely wrong.
And I think I really think so too, and it really depends on the man because a lot of men ain't ish. So the mom knows what type of values that man may put into her son or whatever like that. So she's like, no, you're not going over there. But if this is a stand-up man who really is out here doing this thing, not getting in trouble.
And let's put it like this too, because some people may say, well, his morals and standards, like we can't say what's right or wrong in this world because we gotta think and have an open mind. Right? What we hear over here on this side of this western part of the country, we deem men are one thing. On the opposite side of the country, we go over there, we might be seen as the worst men alive. We don't know. It's not about what's right or wrong. It's about what's beneficial to that child's upbringing, right? Like, what benefits that child? Does it benefit that child to be around you as a mother who can provide no experience as a man, or does it benefit this boy to be around his father? Now, yes, he might not have all the things that you want in a man, but guess what? It's still shame on you for choosing him to create a baby with.
Wow.
So he might not have all the values that you want in a man, but guess what? He still has the value of a man. Yeah. So once again, if he is within the parameters of being that good man to where he can show this young man how to be a man, how to be respectful, how to have responsibilities, how to honor himself and God. If he can do these things, listen, get over yourself or whatever he did to you. Because I'm not negating. He might have did something messed up to you.
Right.
He might have cheated on you. He might have did whatever. I'm not negating none of that. Because you know what, Jerv, is so real. Because if we don't say this, especially on our platform where we can say what we want to say, it won't get said. Because you listen to other podcasts, you hear other platforms. They're not talking how we talking.
Yeah, they
So
not really
it's our
not.
responsibility to say this, bro. We
Yeah.
gotta say this.
And I don't care nothing about no YouTube monetization, domination, whatever they be talking about.
Listen,
I
we
don't care
getting
nothing
money
about
all
that.
around here. So if YouTube stop, hey,
Yeah.
we'll make another lane.
I mean, it'd be
Like,
nice to keep it going, but
yeah,
you know, that ain't
twisted.
gonna
I'm never
stop me
gonna ever
from
want to
saying
like
what.
stop
Yeah,
eating, but I'm never gonna change my standard based upon a dollar. You
yeah,
understand me?
nah.
Like
That's
I'm
what a
never
lot of
gonna
folks
change
do
that.
though. We don't care nothing about that. Like we've been
Mark
doing
my
this
words. The
without
Imperfect
all of
Gentleman.
this.
My
So.
name is the Imperfect Gentleman for a reason.
Yeah,
I did
I
that for
mean,
generations to come. So whatever y'all niggas try to bring my way, talk about he ain't this, he ain't that.
I
You
don't
right.
like what he
My name
said.
is the Imperfect Gentleman, nigga.
Yeah, and that's that for.
I'm
Yo,
not perfect by no means, and I'm not trying to be at
not
all.
at all. What if the child is like, yo, I don't want to go over there with Pop? Do you
Hey,
leave it up to the child's
no,
discretion and
nah.
to
Not
like,
until he's of age to decide, make a decision. And that age is between the ages of 17 and 18, bro.
yeah,
Like when you start being able to understand life for what it is, you still don't have a grip on it. You start understanding and comprehending around that age as a man. So no, you're not making decisions for yourself until you're legally able to. What are we talking about out here in the street? Like we've gotten so caught up in this equal rights that we let that shit trickle down to our kids and how we
yeah,
raise our kids. Knock it off, society.
yeah,
Knock it
for
the
real.
hell off.
Yeah, these kids
That
ain't got
child
no
is going to
say
be
in
under
none of
the
that.
privileges and the rights of that parent until it's time for him to be on his own.
Yeah, that I believe in
God
that too.
forbid, and this is never going to happen in my case, but me and my wife, some a weird reason, decide that we're going to separate ways. My son has to come with me at this certain age.
Oh yeah.
And guess what? As much as it would kill me and hurt me, my daughter would have to go with her mother. She would have to. If she's alive and fully functioning, why would I take the experience of her being a woman and modeling that in front of my daughter? Why would I rob my daughter of that?
Yeah,
that's what we're doing when we're robbing our children of the experience that they need to see in front of them.
You're right. All because of you, your selfish ways, what you got going, what you feel.
Right.
How you feel. Like,
let's deal with the selfish needs. And only really reason that you are where you are in a relationship, in the situation that you're in, is because you didn't listen in the first place. Yo, 99.9 times of the people I talk to are in relations that are either ending or about to end. They knew in the beginning they wasn't supposed to be in them.
Dang.
And I'm not, that number's not nowhere near off, Jerry. I'm talking about 90, 99%. I mean just that. Each and every time you peel back the layer on relationships that did not last or did not work, you go back to the beginning and you're going to be like, and you asking the right amount of questions, especially me in the space of being a coach. I've learned you ask the right question, you get the right answer. Over a period of questions, if you realize to pull that onion back, that you realize like, oh, I wasn't supposed to be with that person in the first place.
And look at the trickle effect. It affected everybody like that really you was touching, like your kids, most importantly, you know what I mean? Your relationship with your other half. It really wasn't fair at all to the children in the first place.
And think about this, Jer. In some cases, it affects people's spiritual relationship.
Yep.
There are people in relationships right now that can't worship that the way they want to worship because the people in the house don't believe how they believe.
That's great, and that is so true. Like,
what did we talk about that with that unequally yoked?
Yeah.
If y'all don't know what we're talking about, go back a few episodes ago and check out unequally yoked. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna put that video in the next one to watch after this one right here. After this episode, this one you should watch next is going to be unequally yoked for real.
Yeah, that tied right into it because that's totally unfair, and that's because you knew you wasn't supposed to be doing that.
And yo, why do we do that, Jerv? Because we so caught up in
our feelings,
and that fatty looking so juicy and scrumptious.
You know what I mean? That thing let me pop real quick,
looking at me like, oh, like and then for the ladies out there, oh, his arms, his chest,
look at
his abs, his legs,
his great sweatpants.
Like, oh yeah, his meat swinging, right? Like you know what I mean? Like, we gotta call it for what it is for the ladies. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, but we get so caught up in about like how he beat it up or how she take the dick. Or we get so caught up in that, right? That we know we shouldn't be going forth in that relationship, but you know what? I want to hit it again though.
Yeah.
Even though I know that I can't stand the person you are, you get on my nerves. I can't see myself with you no further past than I see the sheets. But I'm gonna let you. You know what? Come through.
Yeah, come through.
But guess what happened? That come through turned into a wham 9 months later, right?
Oh my goodness. And
Uh-oh.
the situation has begun. Now we
Situationship.
fighting over custody.
Right. Now we're in situationships.
Man.
Entanglements.
And they making up words nowadays.
Right.
I ain't never heard of these words ever before.
But that's a real deep on a real deep level. So check this out. Miles Monroe, shout out to him. You know I call him the spiritual father, and God bless his soul. He's no longer with us. And one of his pieces of content, he was talking about this. And as a matter of fact, somebody else just reiterated it. Myron Golden, somebody else you should check out too. Phenomenal individual, great teacher. He said that we take words and change them up so it don't sound as harsh as the Bible describes them, so we can live in sin. Okay. So check this out. We call drunkenness alcoholism, and we label it a disease. So it's like, instead of you being a drunk, like, and just waddling in sin and be like, oh, you know what? No, it's a disease. It's called alcoholism.
Yeah.
So it's like, if you change the word, and this is why calling things by what it is and identifying things is so impactful and so important. Like, if you call something for what it is, and I also learned the most powerful thing you can do to a statement is say it out loud and hear it.
Right, the word.
If you say it out loud and realize it and give it a vibration so you can see it and for what it is, you realize the majority of the time, like, yo, that's some nonsense.
Yeah, for real. And that's why I always say people are married to their feelings. Like, whatever your feelings tell you to do, that's what you do. The Bible said that the heart is desperately wicked. Like, it's we men, like, we, including women, we have urges to do crazy stuff. Like, we have urges to do what fulfills our flesh. Like, that's why you can't do this thing on your own. You need a guideline to help you. Like, if it was up to everybody, like, it would be like orgies, Royal Rumble orgies. Like, it would be so chaotic. Like,
chaotic out here in this world.
People would be at the buffet on top of the joint, just gorging on food. Like, whatever they feel, that's what they would do. Like, but we gotta have guidelines. Like, people think oh yeah, I'm a man. No, you still need to answer to a set of guidelines to truly be who you really supposed to be. Like, because if you leave it to us, like, it's not gonna end well, man.
Bro, anything left to itself is gonna get worse, bro. Like, you can't. There's nothing on earth that you can leave by itself and it's gonna get better.
Right.
Like, everything needs an outside source to make it better.
Right.
This is why, like, at first, I'm not even gonna lie. When I first started coaching and helping men, I didn't really think it was necessary. I was like, yo, maybe maybe I'm doing the wrong thing. But it was like, yo, no, every man needs a coach.
Mm-hmm.
And there's many different kinds. I'm not saying every man should come and need coaching. Well, if you do need some coaching, you can come to me. That's
I mean,
commercial confidence coach right here in the building.
Right.
But yo, every man needs someone to help him. And like, that guideline you're talking about, bro, is the word of God. And it's like, if you have, like, I call it my wolf pack, with Jervis a part of, Dave, everybody on this podcast, my mentors, the people, the men that I build with.
Yeah.
These are all my ecosystem of men that's helping me move forward to be a better version. I could not be a better version if it was just me alone.
Yeah.
I would still be my stagnant self. If I didn't have any outside information telling me that some feedback, like, yo, bro, you're going the wrong way. You're doing that wrong.
You're doing it wrong.
Yo, for crying out loud. Look at the last situation. Another video, y'all. You want to go back and hear some emotional intelligence, go back and check out Roderick. That episode, I talked about Dave helping me along the way, giving me some pertinent information. And because of Dave, I'm not in jail right now.
Right.
Like, I'm because of Dave, I didn't have to go sit in the precinct and explain myself in all kinds of ways, because I listened to my man who gave me some phenomenal advice. But it takes an outside source for us to become better, for anything to become better, bro.
Yeah, I agree. And And a lot of people, let their flesh win. But even I struggle with things, man.
Every day.
You know what I
Yo,
mean?
so
So
let's
I ain't
put it out
perfect.
there because I want to talk about this too because like this is popped in my head. You know what's so crazy, bro? And like the wicked are so smart because they purposely have trained our forefathers to think that the topics, that conversation that need to be spoken about are taboo.
Right.
So check this out. Sexual transmutation of energy. Right?
Right.
A lot of people right now listen to this podcast. It's probably the first time you've ever heard that. And I'm not going to sit here in front. Up until 2 or 3 years ago, that was the first time I've ever heard of it. It's more popularly known as semen retention, right? Now, you would say to yourself, especially I would say to myself, is like, why would I want to retain my semen? That means I'm not busting no nuts. Like why wouldn't I want to bust a nut? Like, y'all crazy? Like that's heaven on earth. Like that's the closest to God we gonna see.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't I want to experience that as much as possible? And then our culture, right? Our culture tells us, oh yeah, you stressed out, have sex. Right? Like, and then we have our women brainwashed that whenever we're mad, just give us head or make us bust a nut and it'll be all right.
Over, yeah.
Right? So this is their programming. But what I've just learned is that if you take that energy, right, the same energy that you would use to bust that nut, and transmute that into working on a project, strengthening your relationship with your friends, doing things positively, all that energy would help you build towards something.
Right.
Yo, I'm gonna be so transparent right now, Jerry. Like, so being that like I had this, I called it a uncontrollable sex urge growing up.
Yeah.
Really undisciplined. That's really was in hindsight, undisciplined. But I thought to myself, like, yo, I had this crazy sex rage, and like, I got married. Now I got to control it. So I'm gonna beat. I'm gonna beat off. I'm gonna beat off just so I don't cheat. I'm gonna just beat off as much as I possibly have to.
Yep.
Bro, when I actually start paying attention to how much you lose every time that you ejaculate, once I learned how precious that fluid is to our bodies as a whole, bro, it doesn't make sense to just spill it and waste it.
That's nutrients, all of that.
Bro, it's life force. Think about that. Like, that's the force of life. They can't recreate that. They've recreated everything else in life, bro.
Yeah.
They can't recreate the nut. They can't. They have recreated more. They have AI or artificial intelligence, everything else. They have not duplicated the semen yet.
Yeah. I wouldn't recommend that. Bro. I wouldn't recommend that if you was married though. If you married,
no, and let me tell you, I do recommend retaining, even no masturbation as a married man. Like, this comes from somebody who was an avid masturbator.
Oh yeah, no masturbation. Yeah,
I'm talking about avid, nigga. I'm talking about twice in the morning, 3 in the afternoon, maybe once at night to go to sleep. Like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Because you don't know what you're doing, because like Miles Monroe said, you're prone to abuse something if you don't know its use, its purpose. I did not know how important it was to retain my seed and how much energy it provides me to do everything else. Think about this, Jerry. After you bust a nut, what you want to do?
Chill out.
You don't want to do nothing strenuous. You don't want to create nothing. You're not trying to build nothing.
You want to roll over and get a sandwich.
That's it. You just want to eat, lay up, and just do absolutely nothing. But guess what happens, though? And we get caught up in this all the time as men, that we decide to abide in that. And that becomes our pattern. Wake up, bust a nut, don't want to do nothing about that.
Yep.
Wake up, bust a nut, walk around defeated all day.
Yeah.
Because we don't understand the power in it, bro. Like, and this is something that actually, like, my son made me learn, bro. Believe it or not.
Wow.
Because I'm like, yo, why am I so drained all the time? Like, why? And I kept asking myself that. And then sure enough, God put it in my vision on YouTube one day, semen retention. I'm like, you know the whack part, Jerv? You know when I seen that?
What's that? Where?
Right after I busted a nut. Like that video popped up in my phone. Right? I was like, word, this is whack. This is whack.
When you the most condemned,
right?
That thing pop up. You feeling bad? You like, dang,
bro.
I do that. Like,
and let me tell you something. Like, ever since I like really, really, really like understood and just to be honest, called it a quits with it. Like, energy levels have shot through the roof, bro. Like, I'm not tired. My wife tells me all the time, like, you're never tired. Yeah, I know. When I'm tired, I fall asleep and I wake up and I'm ready to go again. Like, because I'm not wasting my life force. Like, you understand? Like, I'm not just jacking off because I'm bored. And that's something
that's
for
real
that I can teach a child.
Yeah, and really it is. And that's that distorts the way you look at normalcy too. Because you literally perverted sex. Like, you stretched it out, and the form of it, the integrity of it is no longer normalcy.
Right.
You stretched it out to now you like dominatrixes. Now you like
watching porn while you on the highway. You watching videos while you driving. Like, what am I doing?
Yeah, trying to stay up. You watching porn, like, you know what I mean?
I'm driving on the highway, like I'm zoning in on my phone, like, oh, I'm swerving. Wait a minute, I see them titties. Wait, what's going on right now? Like,
it really distorts you to the point where you'll mess up your relationship because you can't. You'll be wanting your wife or significant other to fulfill some freaked out crazy stuff that you done looked at and masturbated to.
Right.
You know what I mean? So your whole scope of sex, it'd just be so outrageously perverted that you won't even get off on normal. Like, you won't even be able to get hard no more. Like, you know what I mean?
Right.
Because you so perverted now. Yeah.
Right.
And that opens the door to a lot more other stuff. Porn is really tight. I don't know how.
Yo, we might have another topic for the next week right there.
Yeah, how we get on this, man? I got 1,000 bars for this topic. Like,
yo, nah, and we really like maybe it's a good segue into next week's topic, bro, because like that semen retention and the power that comes from it and the downside of masturbation and porn is it should be talked about, bro. Like,
it really should, though, because a lot of people don't know. They don't know. They just doing it.
Right. And real rap, like how I know that is because I did it for so long. And like, yo, Jerv, what's so crazy until you understand you're doing wrong or someone show that you're doing wrong, you will justify it as if though it's right. My justification for doing it was like, yo, I'm not cheating.
I'm not cheating, but you really is though.
Faithful. Like, I'm being faithful. I'm faithful to my wife. I'm in here just me and my hand, me and my palm.
Yeah, it's me. Yeah, word. What they used to call it, palm of the league, whatever.
Yeah. Like, fingerlet. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Like, yo, he said fingerlet. Dog, that's how you know stuff is just perverted, dog. Like, it's,
bro.
We gotta talk about that because that's destroying a lot of people. Bro. And that opens the door to, oh, you like voyeurism. So you like peeking in on people while they, you know what I mean? So now let me go out here and do some nutty stuff like that and go peek in on somebody.
And now you're trying to figure out why you're in a prison dealing with a peeping time charge.
Or in the hospital, you know what I mean? Dealing with ICU. Like,
right.
So it's really open. That right there is so dangerous that is crazy. We got to do something on that next week.
Yo, Jerv, and it's crazy because like all of these concepts, to bring it back to today's conversation, all this stuff comes about because your brain gets opened up when you have children, bro. Like, our brain couldn't have thought this way until we had children.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Because naturally, you don't think of that far, and when you do think of that far, you don't have the intricate details of your brain, especially at that young, to think of what I'm going to teach, like the lessons I'm going to teach, and all these to my children. But once you're embedded in the situation, and you are a father, and you see these years heading up your way, and the conversation that you're going to have, and the role model that you have to be, it's like, wow, I gotta really do some self-evaluating, like because you know what the one thing I learned too is like the hardest thing about being a coach or a parent or a role model is that you can say one thing but do another, but that'll show up in how you deliver, and then they'll know that you're not living what you're talking about. As a mentor, coach, or a father, you gotta live what you're talking about, dog. These eyes is on you 24/7, bro.
Yep.
They watching your every move.
Yep.
And this is what I've learned from being a father, bro. Like this to tie it all together. Like these little niggas' eyes here.
Yeah, real rap. They looking at you like all the time. So it really does help you as a man to help you realize that it's not just me anymore.
Right.
Like I have a whole nother being that's looking at me and soaking everything that I do in. Like he's literally like he'll say words that I'm like, how did you know how to say that? Like what
did you get that?
I say that. Like, yeah. And they I was telling you, they soaking it in. Like now either you can have them soak in some good stuff or
let me tell you, you know, I'm Mr. Transparent. So like y'all know I'm out this potty every so often. I get greasy. I be talking crazy. I'm working on that. I'm trying not to curse so much. But it's like in moments where it's like you like heat of a moment, I'll yell out shit, right? The other day my daughter dropped something and she was like, shit. I was like, no, wait.
Cause you got that from me. I can't. I gotta stop that.
Stop saying I'm beating myself over the head like you don't stop saying this shit. She just repeated you. Shut up and stop saying it. And I'm like, baby girl, listen. Now you know you gotta come, baby girl, listen. That's not the proper thing to say. Daddy has to work on his vocabulary, working on being better, and you cannot say those things. You know what I mean? Like I had to come and clean it up because it's like, yo, I can't allow her to think that that's okay just because I do it. And that's one of the lessons that our forefathers were scared to teach us. Like, just because I do it, don't make it right. Like, I need work done. Like, I'm trying to be better. I'm working on this flaw that I have, but don't make it right, and you don't pick it up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's real, and that just comes with accountability, man.
Right.
Got to be accountable to yourself, to your family. You got to be. So if you don't have accountability, man.
And that's where we at right now with in the society we're in. We're in the day and age of the lack of accountability, and the day and now where you put somebody on the front burner of accountability and you hold them to the fire. In today's society, you're abusing people.
Yeah.
So, as for me and my household, though, you know how I carry it. As for me and my household, now we got accountability over here, and we live and we thrive in it. And that's why we're moving forward. That's why the doctrine's name will ring bells for generations to come, because there's a set of standards that I uphold in this household that has to be upheld. And there's no ifs, ands, or buts about that, because not only am I holding my family to that accountability standards, they're holding me to the same ones.
Right.
They're holding me to the same ones every day. They demand me to be a father. They demand me to be a husband. They demand me to be a leader. There is no days off.
There's no turning back.
Nope. Sick, not feeling well, or every day I'm a father. Every day I'm a husband. Every day I'm a leader. Every day I'm a man with no days off. So the accountability is there and so I'm justified and within all rights to hold the standard in my household. And I used to be a little shaken by that, Jerv, to be honest. I used to be like, oh, well, maybe I'm too tough. No. As for me and my house, I know where I want my house to go. I know the future I want for myself and my children and my wife. And for that, I'm going to hold myself accountable to that.
Yeah.
So, man, we're coming down to the last few on today's joint. So what you got before we get up out of here, man? What kind of closing statement do you, as a matter of fact, let's make this fun, Jerv. So our kids at some point, right, are going to be able to sit down and watch these episodes. Like in the next 20 to 15 years, 15 to 20 years, our kids are going to watch these episodes. Talk to your son right now, bro. Tell him, talk to your young future Jerv, to like tell him a little bit about you right now.
Yeah, son. your pops, and all I really got to say is just follow the guidelines, follow the book. Forget me, I'm flawed. Like, don't be better than me. You feel me? Be better than me. Try to strive to be like the most high. Like, you know what I mean? Don't look at me. I'm just here just to lead you in the right way. I'll be gone soon, So you're gonna have to have a foundation to stand on. Don't listen to everybody else, what everybody else doing. Don't do that. You go your way that you're supposed to go by being on in that book, and everything will go real well and swell for you, son. Like, you know what I mean? So you can do it. You got everything that I can give you. You know what I mean? And I'm a stand-up type of guy. So, I can catapult you
right,
pretty far, but it's really up to you to, do what you have to do in this society. And it's going to get worse. It's not going to get better. So you need to put your head down. You need to pray. You need to fast. You need to get into the word and just protect and provide for your family. That's it. Contentment with godliness is great game. You don't have to be out here all the time, man. Just chill out. You know what I mean? So that's what I got to say.
Yo, young Jerv, you heard your pop, man. You heard what he said. Listen up. That was dope, Jerv, for real.
Yeah.
Yo, Josiah, Imani. What up, y'all? It's crazy. I'm sitting here listening to Jerv. I was just like, wow. It's like there was so many things I had in mind, and then like you just blew my mind when you were sitting there telling him just everything that you need, you have already. So listen, Josiah, Imani. All these years, you probably wondered why Daddy's so tough on me. Why is Dad so hard? I am this way because the world is. And if you can survive me, the world is child's play. That's how it's set up. Kobe Bryant said, if you practice hard, the games are easy. So dealing with Dad's a little rough, just so your life will be a little easier. I'm this hard on you because I know that life is going to be even harder. It showed me the cards that your grandmother told me about. I didn't believe it when she was telling me. Most likely you didn't believe me when I was telling you. But around this time of your life, these ages around your life, you're starting to see about more of the things that I said that will come to pass are now starting to happen in front of you. I just want to let you know that I told you so. Nah, I'm just playing. But for real, I love you. And everything that I do is for you. Whether you like it or not, whether you appreciate it now or you appreciate it later. But the truth is everything is for you, never against you. And the days and hours that I close my eyes, I know you'll be prepared to manage yourself and take the name on generations to come. So everything that you have, everything that you need is within you. Don't look anywhere else for your answers. Your answers and your future is inside of you, baby girl and my son. I love and appreciate the both of y'all. Yo, man. So that in years to come, they will see this. Y'all will see this, and y'all will know that we was in the headspace thinking about y'all. But right now, in this moment, to every father out there, take a second. Think about what we just did in the ending of this video. Think about what you're gonna tell your future son, your future daughter, years to come. And if you got the guts enough, record a video. That's the best part about social media and the world we live in as a digital age, that these things, God willing, will be around for generations to come through technology. And they'll be able to look back and see these things. So if you're brave enough and you love your kids enough, shoot a video, talk to them, talk to the future, and see what happens in years to come, man. So with that being said, yo, Jerv, man, this has been a dope episode, bro.
I know, man. This is spicy. It's fire. It is, though.
We might have to bring this back for the part 2 with the other fellas to see where they at with their kids and what they learned and all that. So it might be a part 2, y'all. Y'all never know. We might bring it back next week. But listen, y'all, fellas, y'all know what it is, man. To the world, all you are is a dad. And I don't hold too much weight in the world we live in, sadly. But to your family, you are the world. Don't let that go over your head, Kings. You are the world to your family. So take that title, take that honor, wear it, embrace it, thrive in it. Understand you don't have to be perfect in it. All you have to do is be you, uniquely you, and be confident doing it. And everything else will take care of the rest. Be present, Kings. The majority of the time, that's all that's necessary. But until the next time we see you out there, fellas, be good to yourself and the ones around you. And if you can't be good to the ones around you, that's okay. Just get those folk from around you.
And I got the industry business.
Yeah, it sounds like you about to go be a father right now.
Yeah.
With that being said, yo, we about to be blessed, and so will y'all. Peace, King.